Greetings, good people. It's Amena Soleil, and I want to welcome you back to the channel where we discuss all things healthy natural hair, healthy natural products, and healthy natural lifestyle. And today I want to talk to you all a little bit about some issues that have been brought to my attention with these curly cuts and this detox method that's been recommended that a lot of you out there are experiencing some issues with based on the deep dive that I've been able to do on the videos and commentary that are out there. So I just want to offer you all some answers and some things to consider as I share with you my professional analysis of what's been going on. This is not even an opinion, it's an analysis of what's been happening with these individual methods and then what happens when you combine them. So before I get into the issues, I do want to offer you all this to consider, and that is I don't know a stylist that intentionally sets out to cause damage to their clients. I don't know one. I don't know one that intentionally sets out to, do a bad job or provide service. Like these provide bad service. Like these things are generally due to a lack of knowledge or lack of training or education. Right? So I want to ask you all to really receive this information with some grace, right? So let's just jump into the curly cuts. I want to start there first. I come from the school of precision cutting. Precision cutting is when you comb through the hair so that you can put the shape into the hair. Combing through the hair, the entire head, as you're doing your cut, either wet or dry, allows for you to actually see the condition of every strand on the head and determine how much needs to be trimmed off. Discuss that with your client, just for the health of the ends of their hair. And then you guys make a determination between you and the client how much is actually going to come off, because sometimes your stylist will recommend that you trim off a certain amount for the overall health of your hair, and clients still want to hold on to some of that hair. And so as long as it's disclosed in the consultation what the cons of holding on to, split ends. It's trying to get me, y'all. It's a bee. Go now. Okay. Might delete that out later, but out here in this park trying to get some sun, and the bee wants to come and commune with me. Not right now. All right. So as long as it's disclosed in the consultation, or in the communication, like what the negatives are of holding on to, split dead ends, or whatever part of the hair we're discussing, ultimately it's the client's choice. It's their hair, and they're paying us to provide a service. And so anyway, you comb through the hair, you determine how much needs to be cut, just for in health, and then y'all touch and agree, and then you move on with trimming and or cutting the hair in a wet or dry state. That's how I was trained. That's how I prefer to cut. Most of the time I cut wet, and then once you have done the cut and you style it in whatever way they want it styled. If they want it in a wash and go style for the sake of this video, then you do any type of refining, which is like minor shaping or adjusting once it's styled. Very minor. Curly cuts, however, don't happen in the precision fashion. Curly cuts are done on hair that is in its natural state, in a wash and go state. And the flaw with that is, one, you don't get to see the condition of every strand on the head, right? You're not actually combing through all the hair on the head so that you can see how deep in the splits go and what actually needs to go and all of that. The second thing that's a fundamental flaw with these types of cuts are that when you cut the hair in its natural curly or coily state, you're actually cutting clumps of hair, clumps of coil, clumps of curl, and these clumps of hair don't always fall the same. They don't always clump in the same exact spots when you style it. So you're cutting it in that state that day, and then it may fall a little, they might decide they want to clump at a different group another day, still in the same general area, but then also how much water is in the hair, the way that the product is in the hair, like all that stuff matters. And so what you end up with is, you're cutting to the behavior of the hair, but the behavior of the hair changes. And when the behavior of the hair changes, it reveals a choppy and uneven cut. And if you want to throw in the very high possibility that all the ends that were split didn't even get cut, you can see that there's a couple of fundamental flaws with just strictly relying on that particular method. So in my days behind the chair,
she thought I satisfied. You may have to walk alone. Remember there's power in the one. You're gonna get through this, you're stronger than you know, but you already knew this. Metamorphosis, you are in the middle of becoming more than this. Metamorphosis. You can't walk before you crawl. Gotta pay dues to be a ball. You may have to walk.
It's definitely not something that I offered. When clients would ask, do you offer a curly cut? I would explain to them that it isn't the best foundationally for shape, like for precise shape. It doesn't allow the versatility of a precision cut. Like if you wanted to wear your hair straight, you're definitely going to see holes and unevenness, and so that's not how I was trained. It's not how I prefer to cut. So if it's okay with them, we will do the precision method and refine their shape once they're all styled, because it will require very little detailing at that point, and everything was all good. That's how I cut. So curly cuts don't yield an even shape. They don't allow you to get all the ends, and the hair behaves differently based on how much water is in it, how much product's in it, and so if you're cutting to this behavior of something that changes, you're bound to end up with an uneven cut. So that's my answer to why you all are seeing what you're seeing in your hair with these curly cuts. And so moving on, I want to talk a little bit about the other issue that's come up as a result of it's a detox method, where, from what I understand, you are to shampoo your hair, condition your hair, and omit any type of butters or oils or leave-ins from your regimen, and then just go straight to a holding product, right? And from what I believe, this is supposed to be happening on some sort of weekly basis, from what I understand. Like, y'all jump in the comments and correct me if I'm wrong, but that is my overall understanding of what the detox recommend for a period of 30 days. So the flaw with that is, wow, there's several things that concern me about that, that will result in a lot of what you guys are experiencing, like multiple splits up the strand, split ends, increased dryness in your hair, and just the inability to retain length because you need to have it cut so often because the hair is just really, really dry. So my first concern with this method is, what type of shampoo are we talking, right? Because there's several different strengths of shampoos for several different needs, and if we're shampooing weekly and we're clarifying weekly, and we're taking any type of lubricant and any type of oil out of the equation, that helps to keep the moisture balance on the inside and the outside of the strand, that is a recipe for increased wear and tear and rapid dehydration. And so I want you to think about it like this. What happens when you wash your favorite sweater or your favorite shirt or your favorite pair of jeans, like every week or every couple days or what have you? Like, what happens to it? They start fading, right? And they start fading because, like, the fibers are losing elasticity, and so they can't hold on to their color or their shape like they used to because of all the frequent washing, right? Well, the same thing happens to hair, and we can't not wash our hair, but what we can do is make sure that, one, we're choosing quality products with which to wash our hair, and two, we have a comprehensive regimen that includes things that restore the moisture balance to the hair, to kind of mitigate some of that normal wear and tear. Shampooing your hair is going to create normal wear and tear no matter what you shampoo with. It just depends on the wear and tear will show depends on the strength of your shampoo. So if you're doing something clarifying, it's going to happen faster. If you're in the soap base, it'll, happen at a medium rate. If you're in the what's that called, sulfate free, it'll happen even slower, but then you're not getting a thorough cleanse. But shampooing your hair is just normal wear and tear. So we need to shampoo our hair. I'm an advocate of shampooing the hair weekly to every 2 weeks. I don't really see a reason to not shampoo any more often than that. Some people like to push it a month. That's y'all business. That's y'all prerogative. But every week to 2 weeks is where I generally recommend folks live, even in a protective style. Like if you're in braids, shampoo them. Shampoo that scalp. Get the water on there. Get the shampoo on there. Like, keep your hygiene up and keep your hydration up. So shampoo the hair. Do your conditioner, right? Your rinse out conditioner. And then move on to your styler. Now, I will have clients ask me all the time, do they need a leave-in conditioner or a leave-in styler, a leave-in product? And my answer was always depends on what is in your styler, right? Depends on the ingredients of your styler, because you're leaving that in also. So leave-in conditioner, I mean, if your rinse-out conditioner has done its job, no, you don't need a leave-in conditioner. If your styler is chocked full of the same nourishing, strengthening, and protecting ingredients, that you are that you're using the leave-in conditioner for. Does that make sense? So it's redundant. So if your rinse out conditioner has done its job, do you need a leave-in conditioner if your styler has these same ingredients that you're after? And so ingredients matter, y'all. And the main ingredients in these leave-in conditioners and in a lot of our nutritive stylers that give us the best capability to lubricate the strands, right, to help them slide past each other, also helps to keep water in the hair longer. It slows down the rate of moisture evaporation when you have these leave-in conditioners or leave-in stylers, or our hair creams and hair butters. The main thing that's driving their protective and strengthening and hydrating assisting function is the oil. It's the oil. It's the oil.
Well, if it's not tight cuticles, what makes Afro hair so good at not getting completely saturated and worn out by water compared to every other hair type, even if it's curly? It all has to do with our natural oils. A study published in 2006 has shown that compared to Asian hair types, Afro hair strands have almost double the amount of external and internal oils. The quality of our sebum is also really rich. It's a recipe of esters, squalene, cholesterol, ceramides, and the list goes on and on. As you know, oils are hydrophobic. They repel water. The amount and the quality of our sebum protects our hair from taking in too much water, swelling, and getting weighed down. So it slows down the wear and tear caused by too much water intake. That's why our hair is often referred to as waterproof. So low porosity Afro hair types in a way get to enjoy the best of both worlds. They get the benefits of flexible cuticles while still getting the protective benefits from really high-end sebum. Most of the issues we have comes from the damaging things we do to our hair and the use of products that strip the oils from our hair.
So we make a natural sebum just of our own scalps make sebum, which is oil that's made by your body. And when you attempt to remove that from the regimen, whether it's in a leave-in conditioner, a styler that contains a high degree of these, deep conditioners and so forth, you are essentially shampooing your hair, rinsing out the rinse out conditioner, and then just going out into the sun or the hooded dryer with some shellac on top and allowing it to dry out. Like you're not returning anything to the hair that may help to patch up and coat little cracks that have happened in the cuticle because of the normal wear and tear of the shampooing. You're not doing that. And a lot of these oils have the capacity to not only deal with the cuticle layer, but also deal sometimes with the cortex layer, which is the inner layer of the hair, which helps to keep moisture inside the hair as well as from escaping outside. So when you remove that in whatever product type you've chosen to remove it, you've just accelerated the dehydration and degradation of your hair. So oils, butters, leave-in conditioners, or stylers that contain these ingredients are hugely important. Like, think about if you were to just wash your body. You take your shower and you get out and you don't put on not near lick of lotion, not near lick of oil, nothing. What is gonna be happening to your skin? Oh, and then you just put some aloe vera gel on top of your skin. Like, skin and hair are primarily made of protein, and skin has more connective tissues and epidermis and things in here, but the proteins are going to start flaking away, so we can't just be out here cleansing and then not lubricating and not protecting, not use it in the same breath, using that lubricant to Again, help the strands slide past each other, so that cuts down on knotting and whatnot. But in these lubricating oils and butters, because butters are just fattier oils, they liquefy when you melt them down. In them, they have the capacity to, again, help the hair retain moisture, help slow down the rate of moisture evaporation inside the shaft and outside the shaft, depending on the oils that you're using. And this is what deep conditioners are primarily formulated for, by the way, is to contain those ingredients, those types of oils in other hydrolyzed, proteins or things, if you will, that will go past the cuticle layer and help that water and oil kind of bind together and keep that moisture inside the strand longer before it's evaporates. And then the outer coating of these oils on the outer layer serve that function of slowing it down, but also providing protection from the UVB and UVA rays of the sun. So you don't ever want to remove them in any type of way. It's just not a good idea. So when you take them out the picture, you have dry, chronically dry, splitting, breaking hair. And again, if you was to run around and just wash and not lotion, not butter, not oil, like, what's gonna be happening with your skin? So please use the oils, use the butters, return to deep conditioning, and then you can put your styling product on top and go on about your life. That is the optimal way to take care of your hair. So just to be clear, my concerns with the detox method are, again, what type of shampoos are we talking about, and just the removal of the oils, the butters, the leave-ins, period. Like, because the leave-ins, again, the ingredients that are doing the work in these leave-ins are the oils, are the fats. That's what's doing the protective, the lubricant, and the hydration assistant work, is these oils and these fats. So you take them out, bad business, really, really, really bad business. And then you put a holding product on top, which, is going to freeze the hair in place, is going to hold. It's could have some humectant in it whatsoever, but humectants just draw in more moisture. They don't actually help with the prevention of moisture escaping. They definitely don't help with the lubrication end of it, and they don't help with the environmental damage piece. So, as well as a oil or a butter would, they just don't. So our oils and our butters serve a very, very, very important function. We need them. Our ancestors have been using them for thousands and thousands of years. There is no need to try to reinvent the wheel when it comes to that. Now, I do want to say that I did find a clip of one of the creators of this method talking about how to best do the detox, and I'm going to insert it here so that we can have a balanced discussion about it.
It was the 30-day hair detox, and the detox was about eliminating the things that were not serving you, going back to the absolute basics, and then learning the fundamentals of hair so that you can apply them to any product, any style, anything that you want to do with your own hair. We have never been anti-oil, anti-butter. To say, give your hair 30 days without these raw oils and butters, or products that have them really, really high in the ingredient list, so that you can get to know your own hair. At the end of the 30 days, you can make whatever choices about products. I get where the internet has played the worst game of telephone, but it's so simple.
All right, now based on my understanding of that clip, This detox was supposed to be going on for a period of 30 days, and the client has the flexibility or choice or option to, return to what they were doing, add in whatever they want to add. It just was supposed to be going on for 30 days. It wasn't supposed to be like a permanent hair regimen change based on that clip. Now, I don't know what other instructions were given, that may have been given or whatnot, but it seems to me that maybe there's some misunderstanding for how long that we're supposed to be doing this detox. It's possible. However, I do want to say that misunderstanding being a high possibility, I am in favor of detoxing our hair from products that are actually toxic to our hair and our body system. And oils and butters are just not one of them. Like, they are one of the most beneficial and nutritive ingredients that you can ever have in a product for your hair or your skin. So detox, yes, but actually target the products that are toxic. And there are a lot of them, calling themselves naturals, and they are loaded up with all these synthetic ingredients that are slowly drying out the hair, that are breaking down the cuticle, that are causing scalp issues, that are changing the hair texture, that are contributing to health issues. Y'all know what happened with that one that was starts with the D and ends with the curl, and it's something that I never recommended or used on my clients, because I read ingredients, I research ingredients, and unfortunately ingredient knowledge is not something that is taught in cosmetology school. It just isn't. What the ingredients do, what the function of them is, and what the health implications of them are. That is something that is missing in the cosmetologist education that would serve everyone well, because it would be able to allow the stylist to make informed choices just by reading a label on, okay, what's all in this? Is it good for my client's hair? Is it good for my health? I'm going to be, working with this, absorbing this through my skin. Can it even deliver the results that it says it can, just based on what's in the container? And when you learn to read ingredients, you can look at a label and be like, nah, I'm good. And pick up something that will actually perform the functions that you need it to perform with accuracy and without causing any harm to yourself or your clients. So that is definitely something that I encourage not only stylists to get on top of, but also consumers if you value your health. It's a advanced independent study that I've been a part of for the last 18 years, just because I have a place of very high value on my health. And so it started with the foods I was eating and reading the labels on packages and things like that. And then it just extended to hair products and whatnot, and body products and household products, like the whole gamut. So ingredients, knowing the function of ingredients and their health implications will do wonders for the professional in terms of being able to deliver hair healthy, error-proof results every single time, but also for the consumer, because you'll know what's in these things and how they benefit you or they don't. And since stepping from behind the chair in late 2021, I'm 10 years licensed cosmetologist, but I stepped from behind the chair in 2021. I decided to go ahead and write an ebook for y'all, because even though I had been not behind the chair for quite some time, I'm still getting clients, reaching out to me, asking if I'm coming back, or, asking them for help with this, that, or that concern, or, is there a stylist of my knowledge base and experience that I could send them to, because it sucks to spend your money and not get the results that you're expecting, right? I get it. So I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and write this ebook and basically put my entire consultation in a printed form with steps on how to care for your hair, what products you need to be using by your hair type, what ingredients you need to be avoiding so that you make sure that you're choosing products that are actually healthy for your hair and your health. And then even, resources on how to locate a stylist in your area when you want to partner with one. So that is out there for y'all, and I encourage you to grab it, because it will save you when it comes to the products that are being put on your hair and the methods that are being recommended for how you care for it. And for the stylists out there that may come across this, it'll help you too, especially if you're someone that is like lost in the sauce and with this lack of ingredient knowledge, and you have, and your clients have fallen victim to these brands that are just putting everything and anything in these products and calling it natural. And because I'm gonna tell you, when I decided to do the research on brands to recommend for the book, because in my mind I'm going to recommend our black owned brands, our black owned natural brands, and this, we can just keep the coins circulating, right? Baby, my heart broke, because I actually expected more brands than not of the ones that I've chosen, and there were about 10 or 11 of them, to have cleaner ingredients than they do. And a lot of these ingredients are linked to serious health problems like neurotoxicity, endocrine disruption, hormone issues, cancers, things that our relaxed sisters are dealing with now after years on years on years of using the relaxer products. And if we're not careful, a lot of us are going to end up there too. So I took the time to add a whole added chapter on ingredients to avoid, which was not originally a part of the book, y'all. I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna get into these brands, ingredients, and I'm gonna find us the best ones, and we're gonna be cooking with gas with our care steps and just the highest quality black owned products. Nope, I had to add a whole nother chapter on ingredients to avoid, because that's how much I found amongst these brands. And so the brands that made my list, top tier, and you won't go wrong there. And that's that. So I hope that I've made things shed a little bit more light on y'all on what's happening with these cuts and the elimination of oils and butters of the regimen, and how detrimental they are for the hair overall. Like, the cutting method itself isn't damaging unless there's a lot of splits in the hair, right? That is left to catch and tangle on the other ones. And I mean, at the worst, when that's not there, you just have a choppy, uneven cut situation when your ends and your mid shaft are what they're supposed to be. But if that's not the case, then they are actually contributing to the degradation of the hair, the cuts themselves. And then again, eliminating the oils, the butters, the leave-ins that contain the oils, the butters, the deep conditioners, which are formulated to contain the types of oils and hydrolyzed proteins and fillers and things that actually go into the cortex level of the hair. Just mistake. Like, don't ever do it. There's no reason for it. And you'll be good. You'll be better than good. But get that book if you want to, become your own natural hair care guru and gain access to products that are truly natural. non-toxic and good for not only your hair and your health. So I think I'm gonna cut it off here. Reach out with whatever questions you may have. Definitely drop them in the comments. Share this video with every curly and coily and kinky that you know, who may be affected by these issues, or that you just want to prevent from having these issues, right? But give the stylist some grace, right? Like I said, I don't think any of this was intentional. It just is, to me, the result of a lack of knowledge. And the knowledge is out there. Like, you go get that and improve the service that we are providing to our clients in the salon. All right, y'all. All links will be in the description or the bio, and I wish y'all blessings and peace and some natural hair grease and all that good stuff. All right, to the next one.